Well, then that's it.
Yeah. Over here.
Looks like there's a lady that she's checking people out.
Hey, MAGA hat! $5.06, $10 hat.
Thank you, guys. Have a good afternoon. Thank you so much.
So sorry.
How about the other side? Look.
I'm a nice Karen. What's the definition?
I think she will continue the policies of Joseph Biden that create a strong economy. We are right now the envy of the world in the economic sense. We have low unemployment, low inflation, falling energy prices, falling mortgages, and falling interest rates. I don't know what else anyone could want.
What do you not like about Trump so much that you're out here with all these signs? And do you know
I
who
think
wrote
he
that?
is a vulgar, unintelligent, self-centered, narcissist egomaniac.
Embarrassing that so many New Yorkers have forgotten what his history was, his legacy of racist behavior, ripping off businesses, everything. I just want to come out here specifically to remind the black community, as a black man and a New Yorker myself, of what his history is like for the community. It's very easy to get caught up with the salacious headlines, but it's important to remember that right here, like it says on my sign, in 1989, he took out a full-page ad to call for the death of the Central Park Five. Even after they were exonerated in 2016, he still, by DNA evidence they were exonerated, he still chose to call them guilty. This is a man who has no business in New York for having New York City, and that's why I'm out here.
Are you surprised he's coming to MSG, or are you just you're disappointed he's coming?
I'm disappointed that he's coming here, but I'm not surprised. He's definitely getting a crowd. He's definitely stirring up a lot of dissent and discourse. That's his way. He loves to be divisive. But it's just important to remind New Yorkers that Donald Trump does not represent their history, their interests. Even if New Yorkers are frustrated with how the day-to-day local politics are going, this is not a man who's going to come in and care about them, make real change, or really be their defender. And I'm just here holding the sign to remind people.
Are you getting any reactions to you being here? I mean, what are people saying to you?
I will say that so far everybody's been seemingly pretty respectful, pretty peaceful out here, and I hope that it remains peaceful and respectful. A few people have asked me questions, and I've been able to kind of answer those questions as best as I can. I think it's important that we have a conversation and that people can talk about things. If you talk about the facts, maybe it changes somebody's mind.
Do you think you're making a difference out here? You said you're having conversations. Do you think you're making a difference?
I don't know if I'm making a difference. All I know that is if I don't try, I never win.
Are you getting supporters? Are you getting people who are trying to argue their points?
I'm getting some good arguments today for sure. But I mean, that's what it's about. We can argue our differences, but I still want to try and hit people with facts, maybe give them something to think about, something that's irrefutable they can go home and Google later.
Do you hope that Trump sees you out here and here's your message?
Trump's never going to see me because he doesn't see any people like me. He doesn't see anybody who looks like me. He doesn't see anybody who comes from where I come from. But what I do hope is that the people who are being fooled by him, by the people who are being drawn in by the things that he's saying, I hope those people see me and that they remember what I have to say, what my sign has to say on November 5th.
I mean, so he downplayed the coronavirus. 500,000 people died as a result. What do you call that?
Well, Trump actually expedited the vaccine development. That was his
I
project.
am going to repeat what I just said. He purposefully downplayed the virus. 500,000 people that year died as a result of that. What do you call it? I could say I see more similarities as Kamala does. Thank you.
So that's comparable.
That
Whose sign is this?
It's ours.
Can I ask you to talk about why you call it a Nazi rally?
I mean, come on with these quotes. Okay, so
Because Trump the Nazis had a rally at the old Madison Square Garden in 1939. Is that why you're?
There's literal documentation of him, like their tactics, Project 2025, Trump's tactics, lots of his language straight out of the Hitler playbook. And now, finally, people are willing to say this is encouraging fascism and that he wants to be an authoritarian. And I just feel like these people should know that what they're going to is straight out of a Nazi playbook.
So Trump's having his event here. How is he liking the Nazis because of that?
What he cares about is concentrating power in the elite. He doesn't care about lifting up working people, and he thinks that the economy is destroyed. This is typical of a fascist person who doesn't think that there's enough power concentrated in the top 1%. And his policies will concentrate more and more wealth upwards, rather than leaving some of it for the middle class and working class.
Can you give me just a basic definition? What is fascism?
Fascism is a racist, nationalistic-based, wealth-based form of government, and there are plenty of parallels between Trump's thinking and earlier fascist governments in the 20th century.
But you don't seem to know what fascism means. So I would recommend reading a history book and maybe stop watching CNN. Thank you so much.
I stop talking to them as soon as they say, can you define fascism? Because there's a little rule book they have where they have a very specific definition, and they start to use these key phrases that you hear, and it means they're not talking to you in good faith. And if they're not talking in good faith, they're taking up my time and energy, and they're not entitled to that.
But why would they say you don't know what fascism is?
Because they're convinced they repeat these talking points. They teach each other how to okay, so every time we go out there, like, George Soros is paying you. And I'm like, if George Soros was paying me, my car would be much nicer. Right? Like, clearly, this is not being paid for by George Soros. But it's because a lot of them are being paid. And so it's the projection thing that Trump does all the time. It's, can you define this? Can you define that? So that they can try to... It's just not in good faith. It's trying to pick away and get a gotcha moment and
that's what I felt he was trying to get me.
Yeah. It's just
I didn't have the textbook definition.
It's not worth the energy, but we do have this. Hang on. Oh wait, fix it up. There's a sign here somewhere. Here we go.
Is a fact. And even in 2016, after they were inaugurated by DNA evidence, that's a fact. And if you're a black maybe he's not going to care, maybe these guys aren't going to care, or maybe somebody will see that and they'll say, oh, maybe that reminds me of when I was a kid. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
You got it. You got it.
Huh?
Yeah, you got it.
Who did?
The guy, the photographer.
Oh, really? You're gonna make the cover of the New York Post.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Like this.
He's probably unfollowed me again. He unfriended me back I think because and then he friended me again with share, which is so stupid because I'm gonna be close to him. So then he unfollows me again, and I'm like, what's the point? What are you doing? Oh, forget her.
She's some shit with the red hat being marketed against them. You want to go to Christianity with me right now? I'll say you what scripture right now. Which one do you want? You know what I mean? What do you think I've been doing for 11 years? You know?
Well, she is anti-Trump. She can't stand Trump. No.
And don't be
Trump should be in prison, not Madison Square Garden. Trump should be in prison, not Madison Square Garden. Trump should be in prison. Trump should be in not Madison Square Garden. Trump should be in prison. Not Madison Square Garden. Thank you.
No, I know we met some
Don't
really nice
look for a
people,
red hat,
and then
though.
I know, and then we like bumped into our
Don't
people
look for a red
again. Please, someone just said that. Oh, the person in the magic shirt gave us instructions, and I'm like, everyone.
That was really nice.
Make America healthy again! Yay! Only Jesus salvation!
Dile Jesús!
En fait, ils viennent de la. Ils doivent venir de la 5e avenue.
And he ended that by executive order in 2018.
Are you alright?
I'm fine, man.
We're just having some fun.
No, they're just looking for eyes and expecting me to go.
Okay, then you don't have to talk.
I know.
I think you're going to have fun.
We want to get rid of the hatred.
East County that are trying to outgrow.
I got the whole family.
They're trying to.
And sashay away, no dictators in the USA. And sashay away, no dictators in the USA. Trump and sashay away, no dictators in the USA. Trump and sashay away, no dictators in the USA. No dictators in the USA. No dictators in the USA! 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 No dictators in the USA!
Yo creo que por eso duramos.
Oh boy.
Like Tyler. No. Motion looks like
is to say that we're not suckers, we're not losers, as Trump called people in the cemetery in France. We're all veterans. We're out here just showing that we do not support Trump. I find it frustrating that we all pledge an oath to support and defend the Constitution, not a president, not a leader. We support the Constitution. He's a threat to the Constitution. He's trying to put himself above the Constitution. So I find it surprising that service members, veterans would support someone who puts himself above the Constitution.
Do you have a comment on that?
I think that's correct. And I'd point out that it is frustrating, maybe too strong a word, because we have friends, we have family who are Trump supporters, and we just want to sit down, understand their point of view, and convey all the reasons we think this is so important to oppose him.
And what are all those reasons?
Well, I think January 6th is by itself enough of a reason. I think his continued attempts to overturn the election, even after January 6th, all the failed court cases are a concern. I think the comments he made on tape to the Georgia Secretary of State to find the extra votes he would need would itself be enough of a reason. But on top of that, all the reasons that were pointed out a moment ago, people who know him best are uniform in finding him unfair. And the number of times that we came close to a military action or natural disaster response failure, I think their comments speak volumes.
The purple is down? Down? Oh my god. Oh my god.